Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm glad to be here. Today I am covering a song that is a favorite of mine and I thought that I would share with all you today and we talk about it, which is Circadian Rhythm Last Dance by Silversun Pickups. If you know anything about Silversun Pickups, you might have heard Lazy Eye, and they are so much more than Lazy Eye, which we're about to get into today. Quick thing about this song, I looked up the song a little bit and apparently this song was written by Nicole in the band about a friend of hers that had passed, which I thought was really interesting. So within that context, we're going to explore the meaning of this song and the idea of a circadian rhythm, which is basically like the different cycles you go through in 24 hours, which I guess could take its own meaning on within the song. But that being said, let's just get into this. Okay, so this for the first verse, I think is very interesting. Let's get into this, where it starts off with another night alone, a temporary dream. I think that first couple of sentences is describing like the state of mind or the state of being. Like basically someone like explaining to a friend like, I had this dream last night. I was in bed, I was laying there, and like in the temporary dream it's like this state of dreaming, I'm guessing. And then the second part of the verse is the description of the kind of dream it was. Like, so another night alone, a temporary dream. I came in through your window sleepwalking. And sleepwalking, obviously people walk in their sleep when they're kind of roaming around hazily, but it could also mean like sleepwalking is in the movements in the dream itself, like sleepwalking metaphorically more so than literally, as in, or figuratively speaking, as in walking around in the dream state. So it's like I came in through your window sleepwalking, standing arm in arm, we're still so out of reach. And I think it kind of speaks to like the nonsensical nature of dreams, but also the contradictory nature of emotions when you're kind of longing or missing somebody, because it's like because it's like when that person's gone, it's like it feels like they're right there because like you're holding on to the memory, but they're very far away because they're not actually here anymore. So when he's like standing arm in arm, we're so out of reach. It could speak to that state of like the contradictory natures of dreams, that like a bunch of things are happening that make no sense. Like for instance, have you ever had a dream when you're at a location like your school or your house, and like it's your school or your house, but it looks nothing like your school or your house. Like nothing's familiar. The walls completely different, artwork, everything's completely changed, but you know that it's someplace familiar. And kind of like that feeling, like we're standing arm in arm, but like we're not touching, you're not actually here. So it's like the memory, because it's like when you have a memory of somebody, it feels like they're always there with you, but they're actually not. And then we talked about, there's nowhere left to go, stay with me. I take that as like within the context of reminiscing over a friend who's passed. I'm presuming the song was written after the friend had passed. Is that like, there's nowhere left to go, stay with me. Like there's no more moving forward. There's no more changing, no more growth. All I have is this memory, and I want to hold on to it for as long as I can. That's kind of how I take it, but let's just keep going. Now, for her verse, I think her verse is very interesting when she speaks about like your footsteps on the floor, your body. It's just a haze. I think that very much speaks to the begins to speak to the last dance reference of it, like almost like reminiscing or remembering what this person was like when they used to be there right in front of them. Like I can remember seeing you there, like your footsteps on the floor, dancing, your body was just a haze and moving to your own rhythm. Like you said, you're like with the rhythm all your own. Your body's out of like let's say out of moving out of phase. I'm paraphrasing sort of, but basically the way you're moving is like your body's a haze. I can barely see you, and the way you're moving is so kind of free, and you're kind of moving to your own rhythm, moving to your own beat, and it's kind of like done in my opinion this kind of reminiscing referential tone where it's like I'm remembering how you used to be, how you used to move. I'm almost idealizing the memory of you and remembering how it used to be and how you used to be so free, so fun, so like how great it used to be. And then when she says like I've got nowhere left to dream, so I'll just stay awake. Like there's no more fantasy. There's no more like this surreal state of where I could live in this kind of denial that you're gone, where I could still be in this dream where you existed. I can no longer pretend, so the only thing I can do is face reality. That's kind of what I take from when she says, there's nowhere left to dream, so I'll just stay awake. Now, well, for this part, when they're talking about when they're harmonizing, which I think their harmony on this part is beautiful, just on a purely like musical and technical level. The way they bounce off each other's voices is very magical, very ethereal. It kind of maintains the dreamlike state of the song, even the melody, and even the imagery of this video, like it maintains that kind of dreamlike state, which I really appreciate. I like. But getting to like the lyrics themselves, and it's like at last I'm found, circle around, um, last dance, no sound. What I think is like that also speaks to like the nature of the circadian rhythm, because the circadian rhythm is a cycle you go through in a 24-hour period. Within the context of this song, one could take that as like you going through the process of grieving and loss, and you're kind of going through it, you think you're back out of it, and then you kind of circle back into it again. She goes like, at last I'm found, circle around, last dance, no sound. I guess it's like one could say that like like you're kind of going through this constant cycle of grief, forgetting, going back in, going back around, and never really getting out of this loop until finally though it's you're kind of at the end of your rope. You finally kind of accepted that it's over, but like you've kind of gotten numb to your own feelings, to your own emotions in a sense. And that's kind of what the last dance is. The last dance is like the last time you can really keep yourself kind of trapped in this state, and you kind of have to move forward. And it kind of hurts, but you're exhausted, your emotions going in these circles, so to speak. And also this part where they say nowhere to go, circle around, nowhere to go, circle around. Like I take that as like, it's like hitting that rut, hitting that wall. It's like you feel like you want to move forward, but again, it's kind of like it kind of reiterates the feeling of I want to move forward, but I feel like I can't, so I just kind of go back around in the loop. I want to go forward, but I can't, so I just kind of go back around the loop, which kind of, so you go back to this cycle all over again, which is like the nature of a circadian rhythm. Maybe not a literal circadian rhythm, but the metaphorical circadian rhythm within the song, like I'm going to keep going back around in this process over and over and over again. Last dance, no sound. Like this is our last, and I guess Last Dance, if I think about it now, really I'm thinking about it, the Last Dance could be a reference to the fact that we're never going to be able to do this again. This was our last time seeing each other, being able to do this thing, but now all I have left is this cycle, and there's nowhere to go but to keep going in these circles over and over. And all before we close it out, I guess it's like also that kind of speaks to the nature of the lyrics after the first two verses, because the verses kind of go in this circular rhythm and circular notion, because because it starts with at last I'm found, circle around, and then it goes to nowhere to go, circle around, nowhere to go, circle around, ooh, and then it goes back to at last I'm found, circle around. So the lyrics started at that point, and then it goes there, but then it goes, and then it circles back around to that point. So even functionally, the song is kind of going around in this circular rhythm, constantly doing the same thing, constantly going in this rhythm, kind of really emphasizing the cycle, this emotional cycle that the person's going through over the loss of this friend they miss. Okay, and that was Silversun Pickup, Circadian Rhythm. I think it's a really good song. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite songs by them. That and like Latchkey Kids. I think Latchkey Kids is a really good song. If you like this song, let me know. And if you want to hear me talk about Latchkey Kids, I will talk about that also. Also, if you have any other suggestions for Silversun Pickup songs that you want to hear if you're a fan, let me know. I'll check that out too. I'll do that too. Yeah. Anyway, we've had some new subscribers to the channel. I want to say thank you for joining. I want to say thank you to my long-standing subscribers. You guys have been with me for a long time. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, at some point, I'll be able to do something to give back, to show my appreciation in a much more tangible way. Who knows? But if you haven't subscribed yet and this is your first video, you should go ahead and do that. That'd be the best thing you could do. You know what I mean? The sun will shine. You might even get put back in your family's will. Who knows? Yeah, and until next time, I'll talk to you later, alright? Peace.